Lexi, and I'm currently a missionary serving here in Kampala, Uganda. I first of all want to say thank you to all of you who've been supporting me in my journey here for the past 2 years. A lot of you know about how my journey has been here in Uganda, but I want to give you a brief explanation of how I got here and how I became a missionary. Throughout my teenage years, I really felt like God was calling me to short-term missions. Throughout this time, I was able to go on to many different mission trips all throughout the States as well as outside of the country. Through this, God really set a fire in my soul to go deeper in my faith. When I became a university student, I was able to intern with Next Step Ministries. Through this internship, I grew tremendously in my leadership skills, but also in my faith. When I finished university, I really felt like God was calling me to something much longer than short-term missions. I continued to pray and ask Him where to go and what to do. That's when I found Living Water Ministries. In 2019, I dropped everything, quit my job, and flew to Africa to meet the pastors of Living Water Ministry for the first time. It did not take very long for me to realize the amount of peace and purpose that God had for me here. There were so many people before I committed that were saying I wouldn't be able to do it, I should wait longer, I couldn't raise the money, and truthfully, I also didn't know how I would do it, but I knew the amount of peace that God was giving me, He would find a way. So now, 2 years later, I am still serving here in Kampala, Uganda, unsure of how much longer it will be until I move back to America. Uganda is an absolutely beautiful country in East Africa. It was colonized by the British and divided into 11 different sections. Each section had a king that ruled over it. Kings do still exist today, however, they don't have political power. Uganda has been independent for 59 years. In 35 of those years, they've had the same president. Throughout the past 2 years serving here in Uganda, I've slowly been able to learn more about the culture and language spoken here. There are over 34 different languages spoken here in Uganda. Luganda and English are the most widely spoken languages. Despite all the COVID restrictions that have affected us over the past couple years, our ministry has had so many accomplishments worth celebrating. Our vision is uniting youth to bring a spiritual awakening and raising leaders to serve the world. Within the ministry, I serve as a human resource manager, along with leading a few different programs within the ministry. Over the years, we've been able to restructure so much of the ministry, being able to better serve our university students. I've also been able to reopen the Leadership Academy, teaching 24 different university students how to be a better Christ-driven leader, all through classwork and outreach. This year, we've been able to take what has been one location for our weekly fellowship for the past 9 years to 3 different locations. We love being able to offer our university students a life-giving place to be able to hear the word together, worship together, and just come and fellowship together. Over these past 2 years, we've had over 40 university students give their life to Christ. These are just a few of the many accomplishments we've had as a ministry over the past couple of years. In addition to my work at the office, I've also had the opportunity to go and visit so many different villages and organizations all throughout Uganda that are doing amazing work for the kingdom. Some of these are even led by our own graduates within the ministry. And how can you live in such a beautiful country without doing some exploring? From just traveling through town to traveling all the way to the national parks, it has been such a blessing to live in such a beautiful country. I've not only grown tremendously as a leader, but also dug deeper into my faith. Thank you so much for your continued support, whether it's financial or prayerfully. I appreciate it all so much. I am so excited to see what these next few years bring here in Uganda.